Hola a todos. Today we are going to study the 12 essential Spanish verbs for everyday life, present simple edition. As you already know, in Spanish there are several time tenses like in any other language, but today we're going to focus on knowing and learning the meaning of these verbs and the use in present simple, which is like the most common time tense. And later on in other video lessons, we're going to study the rest of the time tenses. Okay, let's start. So first, we're going to start with the verbs ser and estar, which are very commonly used. Two of the most important verbs, I would say the most important verbs to express many, many things in Spanish. And it's also one of the verbs, and also I would say the most confusing verb of all, because in English it has just one meaning. I mean, it's translated as, for example, as to be. Okay, ser and estar means to be, which if you conjugate it with each person, like yo, tú, él, ella, usted, or I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they change. For example, from to be, we take I am, you are, he, she, it is, we are, they are. And it's the same thing with in Spanish. You take the root, or what is the not the root, sorry, is the base form of the verb with no conjugation, the original form, let's say, and then when you try to add that verb to a person or to a pronoun like this one's, the way you write it changes, right? Sometimes changes completely, sometimes changes just a little bit. But well, this is just an introduction on verb conjugation. Today we're going to focus on those 12 verbs, which coincidentally, most of them are irregular verbs. I'm getting ahead to myself. We're going to focus on these verbs first. So, ser, the conjugation is yo soy, tú eres, él, ella, usted es, nosotros, nosotras somos, ellos, ellas, ustedes son. And we use it, los usos son características, descripciones intrínsecas e identidad. So we use it to talk about characteristics, give you physical characteristics, for example. Personality is also characteristics. Intrinsic descriptions, everything that defined us, or identidad, everything that identified us, or identifies us something, or yeah, pretty much what you use to describe, or how you describe yourself, or you describe others, how you describe a place, an animal, things like that. So let's see. This is a star, and then we have ser. Sorry, that was ser, and this is a star. So now with the star, we talk about circumstantial situations. Situations are they don't really define anything. We just talk about something that is happening in that moment. And situaciones extrínsecas. So again, these are situations that don't define us. It's just the situations that happen outside of us. And if we talk about these situations, really, we're not really describing anything. We're just saying what we're seeing, pretty much. And that's the general idea. Of course, we're going to see more examples. For now, the conjugation. Yo estoy, tú estás, él, ella, usted está, nosotros, nosotras estamos, ellos, ellas, ustedes están. Let's start with examples. So, here I'm describing myself. So, mi nombre es Vanessa, soy de Venezuela, soy profesora de español, soy morena, baja y gordita, mi pelo es corto, rizado y negro, soy amable, paciente y creativa, no soy religiosa. So I have all of this inside of this circle because that's what is inside of me. This is how I define myself. This is how I would describe myself. And this is something that makes me the person that I am. All right. So that's why I use ser, because esos are características intrínsecas, intrinsic characteristics, what is in you, all right, what makes you the person that you are. Now we have estar, por ejemplo, en esta foto estoy en mi cafetería favorita en Cusco y estoy bebiendo un cappuccino con chocolate. Estoy un poco cansada porque estoy, porque es viernes. So here, in this picture, I'm my favorite cafeteria in Cusco. Cusco is a city in Peru where I live. I am drinking a cappuccino with chocolate and I'm a little tired because it's Friday. Now, any of this describe me as a person. If I just say this, I'm just describing what is happening. For example, I'm saying where I am in the cafeteria, where I'm doing, I'm drinking coffee, and how I'm feeling in that moment in the picture. No, feelings is something that you feel in one day and the other day you might not, right? So this just doesn't really define me as a person, but this does. Okay, so here, reviewing, I'm describing myself. My name is Vanessa. I am from Venezuela. I'm a Spanish teacher. I'm brown, or I'm black, short and fat. Yeah. My hair is short, curly, and black. Nice, patient, and creative, and I'm not religious, right? So this is how we define myself. This is just describing what I'm seeing in the picture, or what I was doing, or how I was feeling. Okay. Now, with Shakira. Su nombre es Shakira, es de Colombia, es cantante, es baja, delgada y muy bonita. Su pelo es largo, ondulado y rubio. Es generosa e inteligente, es católica. Again, here, saying all those characteristics that define Shakira as a person. Her nationality, her profession, her appearance, her personality, her religion, and even her name, all right? She calls herself Shakira. Everyone calls her Shakira. So her name is Shakira. She's from Colombia. She's a singer. She is short, slim, and very pretty. Her hair is long, wavy, and blonde. She is generous and intelligent, and she is a Catholic, right? All of those things inside the circle define Shakira as a person. Now, things that don't define Shakira as a person. Shakira está en la playa en México tomándose un selfie. Está muy emocionada porque está en la playa después de mucho tiempo. So here, these things don't define Shakira as a person. There's something external from her being, all right? For example, Shakira is at the beach or in a beach in Mexico taking a selfie. She is very excited because she is at the beach after a very long time. Okay, so aquí describe where she, again, I'm describing where she is, how she's feeling, and what is she doing. Now, Pedro. Su nombre es Pedro Pascal. Es de Chile, es actor, es alto, guapo y es de edad media. Su pelo es corto, es talentoso y amigable. Es cristiano. Again, inside the circle, you know the pattern. Inside the circle, describing or saying the things that identifies him, his characteristics. Okay, his name is Pedro, right? He's from Chile. He is an actor. He's tall, handsome, and middle-aged. His hair is short. He's talented and friendly. He's a Christian, right? Bien. Now, let's describe what he is and how he's feeling. Pedro y su hermana están caminando por las calles de Nueva York. Están felices y llenos de energía. So here, I don't know anything about like his sister, all right? I'm just saying what I'm looking at here. So they are walking, Pedro and his sister are walking on the streets of New York, and they're happy and full of energy, right? So here again, describing what they are doing and how they are feeling, where they are, of course. This example, sus nombres son Manuel, Carla y María. Son de los Estados Unidos. Son doctores. Manuel es el papá de Carla y María. Now, again, this is a characteristic that defines them. They are defining themselves as, or the two girls, Carla and María, are defining themselves as Manuel's daughters, okay, and as doctors, and from the United States, right? So in here, when we talk about relationships. It could be any kind of relationship, like, and in this case, family, co-workers, friends, neighbors. We use ser, right? And with estar, now, el doctor está operando a Mike. Está un poco nervioso, pero está confiado. So the doctor is operating or in a surgery. Mike. She's a little nervous, but he is confident, right? So again, estar, again, those three things. What they're doing, how they're feeling, and the location. In this example, we don't have a location, but we can say el doctor está en el hospital operando a Mike, right? Good. So, another example. Nosotras somos amigas. Las dos somos de Venezuela. Ella es Jessie y es asistente del doctor. So, again, here I'm establishing my relationship with her, that we're friends. She's my friend. That we are both from Venezuela. That her name is Jessie, that she's the doctor assistant. So, I'm talking about her profession, our nationality, our relationship, and her name. Now here, again, nosotros estamos esperando la comida en el restaurante y estamos contentas porque no tenemos que cocinar. So we are waiting for the food at the restaurant and we are happy because we don't have to cook. So again, I am here again expressing what we're doing, where we are, and how we're feeling. Yeah, so now we can also describe places with ser and estar. So, for example, esta es mi habitación. Es muy pequeña, pero es muy colorida y acogedora. So this is my room. This is very small and but is very colorful and cozy, right? So this is again, describing my room. I'm giving characteristics to my room. And this is how, if someone asks me how your room is, this is how I would describe it. And because of that, I'm using ser. Now with estar, I'm just describing or talking about the state of the room at the moment I took the picture or at the moment I'm speaking, right? Mi habitación está limpia y organizada. Mis libros están en el estante, la computadora está sobre el escritorio y mi cama está hecha. So, my room is clean and organized. My books are in the shelf. So let's say my books are in the shelf. La computadora, the computer is on the desk and my bed is made. Right? That's the state of the room right now that I took the picture, at the moment that I took the picture. We can also describe animals, of course. Ellos son mis gatos. La del medio es una niña y los otros dos son niños. Son muy juguetones. So, they are my cats. The one in the middle is a girl and the other two are boys. Boys, son muy juguetones. They are very playful. All right. So now, again, I'm here. I'm establishing my relationship with them. They are my cats. All right. I'm also the one in the middle is a girl and the other was a boy, so I'm talking about their gender and their personality. So I'm describing them and giving them characteristics or talking about their characteristics. And here I'm just saying what they're doing and where they are and how they're feeling. Mis gatos están cómodos en el sofá esperando por su comida. So again, how they're feeling, están cómodos, they're comfortable. Where they are at the sofa, están en el sofá. I can also say mis gatos están cómodos y están en el sofá cómodos o están cómodos y están en el sofá. Okay. And they are waiting for the food. So that's what they are doing. Estar, again, we describe what they're doing, how they're feeling, and where they are. Right? Now, with more places. Por ejemplo, esta es la Plaza de Armas en Cusco, Perú. Es mi lugar favorito en la ciudad. Es la plaza más grande en Cusco y la más hermosa en Perú. So, here again, I am giving characteristics, or I'm talking about the characteristics of this one place, which is la Plaza de Armas, the main square in Cusco, sorry. So, the main square in Cusco. And I'm giving more characteristics, talking about this, my favorite, and that's the biggest in Cusco. And here I'm just again describing how the plaza looked in this particular moment in the picture. La plaza de armas está mojada porque está lloviendo mucho este mes. So la plaza de armas, the square, is very wet because it's been raining a lot this month. So here, again, here I'm describing the plaza, giving characteristics like that is the biggest, that is the most beautiful, it's my favorite. And here I'm just talking about how it looks at the moment, okay? Again, we're here talking about not how it feels because it doesn't feel, but how it looks and what is happening is the moment or around the moment, the present moment. It's wet because it's been raining a lot this month. Okay, so let's do sum up. Let's look at this picture and these sentences. Ser, características intrínsecas. So everything that defined the place, the animal, the person. And situaciones extrínsecas is just situations that are outside of us that doesn't really define us, right? Por ejemplo, el parque es grande, es bonito, es muy concurrido, es un lugar para relajarse, es muy verde y es tranquilo y seguro. So, in here, I'm giving characteristics to the parque, to the park. And I'm talking, imagine that I'm describing this place that I really like to a person, and that's when I use ser, because this is how I see the park, how I describe the park. These are the characteristics of the park. Now, with estar, el parque está en Cusco, está cerca de mi casa, está muy concurrido. This shouldn't be here. Es un lugar para relajarse. Okay, forget about this. This shouldn't be here. Está muy concurrido, está muy verde y está seco. All right? So in here, I'm just talking about, again, the location of the park, which is Cusco. And how is the park at the moment that I'm talking, or the moment that I take the picture. Está muy concurrido, está muy verde, está seco. Right? Bueno, está cerca de mi casa, that's also location, ¿no? Está en Cusco, está cerca de mi casa, close to my house. Okay, now these 4 sentences here that I'm saying the same. How is that? You know, is it es muy concurrido or is it está muy concurrido, es muy verde, está muy verde, what is it? They're both correct depending on the context. This is another thing that you should always remember. Context sometimes, if not most of the time, will change the meaning of a word. So just an extra tip here. If you want to translate something if you want to use Google Translate or any other of these translation apps, you can, but you need to use the full sentence. If you use just one word, the app will translate the first word that I don't know, the most common one maybe, right? If you don't give them a context, all right? So sometimes it's not that the app is not good, it's that you don't write enough information in the app for the app to know what is the real meaning, all right? Bueno, continue here. Let's explain here. Es muy concurrido, es muy verde. It's very green. That when I say es muy concurrido or es muy verde, it's because the this is the way I see it. This is the way I describe it, and for me, this is a characteristic that identifies the park. Okay, because every time I go, it's very green. Or most of the time I go, it's very green, and it's muy concurrido, which means that it's very crowded. Okay, so that is something that when I think about the park, this is what I see. I see a very, very green, very full of people, right? Very crowded. Now with está muy concurrido or está muy verde, when I use está, it's because I'm referring to the moment I took the picture, or maybe that it is not how I remember it, all right? So está muy concurrido. For example, today I'm in the park and I'm calling a friend, and my friend asks me, "Hey, how's the park? Are there a lot of people?" And say, "Yeah, está muy concurrido hoy." I can say, está muy concurrido hoy as usual, como usualmente, ¿no? Como usualmente lo es. Sí, está muy concurrido as usual, but I'm emphasizing the fact that I'm talking about today, or the moment that I'm seeing. It might be always concurrido, it might be always crowded, but today, but when they say está muy concurrido, I'm focusing on today. If I want to say a characteristic about the park, I say es muy concurrido, all right? To give you a characteristic about the park. But if I want to just state, or I want to say, express how I see it today, we use está muy concurrido. The same with está muy verde. When I say está muy verde, it's like, well, see, hoy, today, is very green, right? It's beautiful, very green, it's green everywhere. But when I say es muy verde, it means that for me, that is something that how I define the park, is how I will describe the park as it usually is, right? Yeah. So we're gonna see the difference between ser and estar, because we saw in the previous slide that depending if it's ser or estar, it change, like the intention, if you're talking about is always like that, or is a characteristic of the place, of the person, or opposite, I'm talking just about that specific moment. But they also change and meaning more than that. They actually change the meaning of the word when you use ser or estar with the same adjective. So, for example, esperar es aburrido, okay? So here we're talking about an activity which is waiting. Esperar means waiting. So waiting is boring, right? Waiting is boring. It means that this activity is boring. You can also say, ella es aburrida. She is boring. When you say she is boring, that means that person is not fun at all, right? That person is not fun at all. So when you say es aburrido, you are qualifying, or you are giving that, you're identifying that person or that situation as boring, okay? Now, when we say está aburrida, it means that is bored. La niña está aburrida porque no tiene con quién jugar. So the girl is bored because she doesn't have anyone to play with, right? So here, I'm not saying that she is boring. I'm not saying that the girl is boring and that she's not fun. I'm saying that she is bored right now because she has nothing to do. Okay, another example is está rica o ser rica, o ser rico. esta torta de chocolate está rica. ¿Okay? O el dueño de ese carro debe ser rico. Entonces, aquí, cuando decimos esta torta de chocolate está rica, it means delicious. This chocolate cake is delicious. Okay, so rica now here means delicious. Now here, el dueño de ese carro debe ser rico. The owner of that car must be delicious. Do you think that makes sense? No, it doesn't make sense because it's not what I mean. The owner of that car must be rich. So now, rico means rich. And ese rico means rich. And here means is delicious. Okay, it's delicious. In that moment, and it's because it gives you that context. Okay, the context will give you the meaning of the word. Of course, you need to know like more of the context and more of the words, but just to know that sometimes when we have meaning in our head of what a word means, and then we place it in a sentence where that meaning that we know it doesn't make any sense, then we're turn off. It's like, what is this? What is it? The Google app, Google Translator is lying to us. My whole life is scrambling. What do you mean? No, it's not that. It's because of the context. And you have to, when that happens, you have to get calm. You don't know the word. It's just like, well, this is not what it's supposed to be. I'm not saying that the owner of the car is delicious. So what can it be? Okay, it's a very expensive car. So it's a very expensive car, so the owner must be, you can start throwing different things like, okay, it must be, I don't know, famous, it must be a millionaire, it must be I don't know, an entrepreneur or whatever, but that will help you. Even if you don't understand the exact word, you will know that it doesn't mean delicious, but that won't stop you to keep reading or to keep listening. Because like, okay, by context, by later on, you will understand what it means. So this is another tip that I want to tell you, like, don't get thrown off just by the meaning of the word that you have in your mind doesn't fit with the sentence. Make it fit, right? The context, if you have enough context, you will know what the meaning is. Pay attention to the pictures. Pay attention to the rest of the sentence, what is before and what is after, and you will get the meaning. If you don't get the exact meaning, at least you have an idea of what it is. And if you're not able to get what it is, then you can go and look for the translation, but translate the full sentence, not just the word, right? Okay, continue. Mi sala está lista para la Navidad. Brittany es muy lista. Okay, so here, again, two completely different meanings. Mi sala está lista means my room is ready. My living room, sorry. My living room is ready for Christmas, which means that all the decorations are up. Everything is decorated, everything it looks beautiful, it's ready for Christmas. Now, when I say Brittany es muy linda, it means that she is very smart. Brittany es muy lista means she's very smart. Ahora, ellos son niños buenos y Roger está bueno. So, ellos son niños buenos is saying that they are good kids, meaning they have good manners, they are polite, they are nice kids, in general, right? But when I say Roger está bueno, it means that he's handsome, right? This is hot, actually. You say Roger está bueno, you say that he's hot, he's handsome, he's attractive, all right? And by the way, you shouldn't say this to a person like está bueno. It's too direct. It's not offensive per se, but it's very straightforward. And sometimes you say like, okay, they can just blush, you know. You can say this, Roger es apuesto, es atractivo, Roger es muy guapo, está muy bien. or eres muy guapo. You can say that Roger está bueno to a friend, but not to him directly. You can say, hey, eres muy guapo. You are very handsome, for example. El perro no es malo, la manzana está mala. So, este perro no es malo. It's like he's not bad. He's not a bad dog. He's not a dog that bites and barks all the time. Okay? And la manzana está mala means that the apple is rotten. Like it cannot be eaten. Okay? And okay, so now's the time to pause, rewatch this part of the video if necessary, do the exercises that are here. You just have to click or here on the PDF that you will find right up above this video. Click and they're gonna direct you to the interactive exercises. Remember also that you can ask me any questions that you want. Leave the comments there in the platform and I will read it every day. Okay, next verb, I. All right, so I, for example, hay un gato en el techo, hay muchos gatos en mi casa. So there is a cat in the roof, or there are many cats in my house. So we use I to indicate the presence or existence of something and to make impersonal suggestions. Okay, so there is, or there are, and also to make impersonal situations, suggestions. We will see that in the examples. Okay, en la plaza de armas hay muchas bancas para sentarse, hay faros de luz de color verde, una fuente en el medio con una estatua y muchos cafés y restaurantes alrededor. Hay que usar chaquetas porque hay frío hoy. Okay, so in Plaza de Armas, there are many benches. You see, many benches to sit. There are a green light post, faros de luz. There is a fountain in the middle with a statue. You cannot see in the picture, but it's there. There are many cafes, coffee shops, and restaurants all around it, alrededor. It's necessary. Now we have hay que suggestions. It's necessary to use jackets because it's cold. All right. So it's necessary. This is a suggestion. When we add que to I, as you can see here, we don't have que anywhere, right? Hay muchas bancas, hay faros de luz. Here we're just kind of giving a list of the things that this place has. And with the say hay que, the meaning changes to it's necessary to, and a suggestion, which is usar chaquetas, wear jackets, because it's cold. Now here, when I talk about the weather, the meaning also changes. Hay frío, I now changes to it's cold. Hay frío, it's cold. Más ejemplos, more examples. Mi apartamento es, mi apartamento es muy bonito y está cerca del centro de la ciudad. En mi apartamento hay 3 habitaciones, una cocina pequeña, un comedor y una sala grande. Una sala grande y una lavandería. No hay garaje. So again, here I'm talking about my apartment and I'm giving a list of the things that I have in the apartment. Okay, so my apartment is very pretty. It's close to the center of the city. In my apartment, there are 3 bedrooms, 1 small kitchen, 1 dining room, 1 big living room, 1 laundry room, and there is no garage. All right. Now here, more specifically about la sala. En la sala, okay, we start. En la sala de mi casa hay 2 sofás azules. So you can see here, una chimenea, una mesita de madera marrón, here, una mesita blanca circular. También hay 3 ventanas. grandes y un ventilador en el techo. So in the living room of my house, there are two sofas, two blue sofas, one chimney, one wooden table, brown wooden table, one white circle of white table. There are also three windows, three big windows, one chimney. Oh, I forgot the chimney. One chimney is una chimenea, one chimney or fireplace, and one fan in the ceiling. Okay, so a little bit the difference here between ¿qué hay en el parque y dónde está? So I, like I mentioned, it's just a list, giving you a list of the things that a place has. Okay, in this context, for example, ¿qué hay en el parque? What is there in the park? Hay árboles, hay muchas personas, hay 4 bancas, hay 4 patos, here. Hay basureros, right here. Hay perros, hay un camino largo y hay postes de luz. So here again, with I'm just listing the things that I can see in the park. Okay, now here, donde está, is where is it? Where are those things that I listed in the park? In which part of the park are they? So, los árboles están en varios sitios del parque. The trees are in several places of the park. Las personas están en el parque y están haciendo actividades diferentes. So the people are in the park and they're doing different activities. Las bancas están en las áreas verdes. The benches are in the green areas. Los patos están en el estanque. The ducks are in the pond. Los basureros están al lado de las bancas. So the trash can are next to the benches. Los perros están con sus dueños. The dogs are with their owners. El camino y los postes están por todo el parque. So the path and the light post are all over the park. Okay, so again, to sum up again, to list the things that they are in a place that you can see in a place, and estar is to talk about the location of those things. Now, when we talk about the weather, hay frío, pero hay sol también. No hay viento ni neblina. Hay algunas nubes en el cielo. So we can also use I to talk about some aspects of the weather. We cannot talk about everything about the weather with I, but some aspects. For example, the temperature. All right. Hay frío. So now here I translate as it's cold, hay frío. But hay sol también. So sol is the sun. So it's something that you can see, right? So we use the sun. And for example, hay sol, if you translate it, means it's sunny. It's not there is sun, because that doesn't make sense in English. It's sunny, all right? It translates as it's sunny. No hay viento ni neblina. There is no wind nor fog. So again, here we use I to talk about the wind and the fog. That is something that we can see. We cannot see the wind, but we can see the effects of the wind. All right. So there is no wind and no fog. We can actually see the fog. Hay algunas nubes en el cielo. There are some clouds in the sky. You can also see the clouds. So we use I for temperature, hay frío, it's cold, or hay calor, it's hot. Hay sol, it's sunny, right? Things that we can see. Hay sol, it's sunny, right? No hay viento, ni neblina. There's no wind, nor fog. You can see the fog and you can see the effects of the wind. Hay algunas nubes en el cielo. There are clouds in the sky. You can see the clouds. Now, when we give suggestion using I, like I said before, when you add K, just by adding the word K, now you will say, no, but wait a minute, K means what? Or K means that. Why? What do you mean? All right, yes, K means what? Can mean also that. K can even mean which, depending on the question. But that is just some of the meanings. Remember that the words change by context, and the context is what is before and after that word. So here, when we have together, hay que, that phrase, hay que, means it's necessary. That is what it means. Forget about the other meanings that you have of que. Hay que, together, means it's necessary. For example, hay que usar chaquetas porque hay frío hoy. We already saw that. It's necessary to use jackets because it's cold today. Hay que cuidar la plaza porque es un lugar muy importante de la ciudad. It's necessary to take care of the plaza because it's a very important place in the city. Es mejor no beber mucho en la fiesta hoy porque hay que trabajar mañana. It's better not to drink much the party today because it's necessary to work tomorrow. Okay? So this is like it's impersonal suggestions. You know, you are not saying you have to work tomorrow. You know, say it's necessary. Like just put it out there. It's a suggestion. Not really pointing fingers. You know, the one we use hay que. Vamos a ver más ejemplos. Hay que terminar de editar el video hoy. So it's necessary to finish editing the video today. So let's say you are in a group, in a meeting, and you just say, hay que terminar de editar el video hoy. So the people who are in charge know who are in charge of editing the video, and they know they have to finish. So, but you're not pointing it in front of other people. You know what I mean? That's why in personal suggestions, a little lighter, you're not really pointing fingers again, like I mentioned. Hay que descansar y tomar mucho té caliente cuando estamos resfriados. It's necessary to rest and drink a lot of hot tea when we have a cold, right? Estamos resfriados mean we have a cold. Yeah, so here, this is, again, a general suggestion. You're not really saying to someone in particular, you're just, maybe something that you see on TV. Maybe you see on a YouTube video, this YouTubers that like to give life advices. They will say something like this: hay que descansar y tomar mucho té. Yeah? To make it like a general thing. Hay que limpiar las ollas después del almuerzo todos los días. So again, someone says that, let's say your parents or some parents tell to their kids that they have to clean the pan after lunch every day. So, you know, the kids know what they're talking about them. The parents don't want to make it like an obligation, but it's like, you know, this has to be done. Someone has to do it. It's not gonna be us. No hay que trabajar hoy porque es domingo. So, again, it's not necessary to work today because it's Sunday. So, let's say you have a business and you say, well, you know, I'm tired. It's Sunday. My clients are probably resting. So, it's not necessary to work today. It's fine. Yeah. Again, now time to pause. Pre-watch this part of the video, as I always said. Do the exercises, leave me comments if you have any questions. Ok. Tener. Conjugación. Yo tengo, tú tienes, él, ella, usted tiene, nosotros, nosotras tenemos, ellos, ellas, ustedes tienen. Some of the uses. Posesión de objetos o características, relaciones familiares, sensaciones físicas, obligaciones o deberes, y la edad, which is possession, talking about possession of objects or characteristics. family relationships, of relationships in general, honestly. Physical sensations, things that you feel in your body, obligaciones o deberes, like duties or obligations, and the age. And that means age. Let's see examples. All right. Tengo 36 años. Tengo ojos marrones y una nariz grande. Tengo el pelo corto, negro y ondulado. También tengo una linda sonrisa. No tengo hermanos, pero sí muchos primos. Tengo un apartamento muy bonito cerca del centro. Shouldn't be there. Sorry about that. Bien, tengo un apartamento muy bonito cerca del centro de la ciudad. Mi apartamento tiene 3 habitaciones, una cocina pequeña, un comedor, una sala grande y una lavandería. No tiene garaje porque no tengo carro. So, one that I forgot to mention, tener is usually translated as to have, all right? But I will see here that is not always the case. Everything depends on the context. Tengo 36 años. I am 36 years old. So the first sentence, it already doesn't mean have. It means is or am. In this case, tengo, I am 36 years old. Now we will with possession. Tengo ojos marrones y una nariz grande. I have brown eyes and a big nose. Tengo el pelo corto, negro y ondulado. I have short black wavy hair. También tengo una linda sonrisa. I have a pretty smile. No tengo hermanos, pero sí muchos primos. I don't have brothers. I don't have siblings. Hermanos could be, when I said hermanos, as a general, is siblings, brothers, sisters. I don't have any siblings, but I do have many cousins. Pero sí, muchos primos, but I do have many cousins. I do have many cousins. I have an apartment, a very beautiful apartment near the center of the city. My apartment has 3 rooms, 1 small kitchen, 1 dining room, 1 big living room, 1 laundry room. I don't have a garage because I don't have a car. But here, remember when we use I? We can here they're exchangeable here. We can say I en mi apartamento. Now it changed. Here I said mi apartamento tiene, but with I would say en mi apartamento hay 3 habitaciones. That's the difference. But you're pretty much talking about the same, listing the things that you have. For example, here, la sala de mi casa tiene 2 sofás azules, una chimenea, una mesita de madera marrón y una mesita blanca circular. También tiene 3 ventanas grandes y un ventilador en el techo. Now, if I would like to use I instead of tener, not much has to change. You just exchange the tiene for I. And at the beginning, instead of la sala tiene, the living room has, you say en la sala hay. In the living room there is, or there are. Okay? That is very much the difference here. We'll talk about possession, or we'll talk about listing the things that we have in one place. Now, with tener, it's such an important verb because we use many, or we create many expressions with tener that don't translate as have in English. For example, tener calor. Pablo tiene mucho calor. This is talk about, like I mentioned earlier, physical sensations, things that you feel in your body. So Pablo is very hot. He feels the heat. All right, that's what it means. Tener calor. Pablo is very hot. Tener sed. La niña tiene sed. The girl is thirsty. Tener frío. Luisa tiene mucho frío, por eso está bien abrigada. Luisa is very cold. That's why she's very all wrapped up. All right. Tener años. Talk about the age. Hoy es el cumpleaños de Camila, así que desde hoy tiene 9 años. Todos sus amigos están con ella. So today is Camila's birthday, and from today she's 9 years old. All her friends are with her. Tener hambre. To be hungry. Luis tiene hambre y está muy molesto por eso. Luis is hungry and he's very upset about it. Tener cuidado es to be careful. Carmen tiene más cuidado sin su celular en la mano. Carmen is more careful without her cell phone in her hand. Tener sueño, to be sleepy. Estas personas tienen sueño porque están despiertas desde las 4 a.m. These people are sleepy because they are awake since 4 a.m. Tener miedo, to be afraid, to be scared. El niño tiene miedo a la oscuridad. The boy is scared of the dark. Tener razón, to be right. ¿Quién tiene la razón? Who is right? Tener suerte, to be lucky. Nunca tengo suerte en los juegos de azar. I'm never lucky in gambling. Tener dolor. Tener dolor es to be in pain, okay, to feel pain. Por ejemplo, tengo un fuerte dolor de estómago. Now, if you want to translate it literally, it would say, I have a strong pain in my stomach, which I guess it would make sense. But since we use this to express pain in some part of our body, it doesn't necessarily have to be translated like that. This sentence also means I have a strong stomachache, right? Like, same thing when, for example, we say, tengo dolor de cabeza. Okay, I know you feel the urge to translate it as I have a pain in my head. So, all right. I guess if it makes sense for you, you can say it, but it also means I have a headache. And that's the same with every part of your body. Tengo dolor de oído. That means I have an earache. Tengo dolor de muela. I have a toothache. Tengo dolor de piernas. Well, I think here you can say leg ache. Here you say I have, oh, well, actually here it changed a little bit. You would say I have, oh, no, I have, my legs hurt, right? Now it's different here. My leg hurt. But even if the word is different, everything means the same. You're talking about a pain in some part of your body. If you say you have a headache or my head hurts, I have a earache or my ear hurt. I have a toothache or my tooth hurts. Tengo dolor de piernas. Bueno, here, like I said, it's not a headache, I guess. You can let me in the comments. Or my legs hurt. You're talking about the same. Different words, but it's the same. You're expressing the same, which is pain, right? Very good. Tener ganas. Tener ganas means to want to do something, or to want something, to have the craving for something, right? Tenemos ganas de comer pizza de vegetales con una cerveza bien fría. We want, or we are craving, or we desire to eat pizza with vegetables and a very cold beer. So bien, when I say here cerveza bien fría, it doesn't mean good cold, no. Everything's context. Cerveza bien fría means very. In this context, bien fría, bien means very. Con una cerveza muy fría. I could say instead of bien. Tener prisa is to be in a hurry. La chica tiene prisa porque va a llegar tarde a su cita con el veterinario. So the girl is in a hurry because she's going to arrive late to her appointment with the vet. Tener en cuenta is to take into account. La empresa no tiene en cuenta la opinión de sus empleados. So the company doesn't take into account the opinion of their employees. Okay, now we're going with tener que. Remember in the previous one with I, we say hay que is necessary too. It's like a general suggestion. Well, tener que is have to, all right? So now this is personal, all right? When you have to, because you always have to conjugate verb, and you add a person to this suggestion. It's not just general, it's to a specific person. Por ejemplo, tengo que beber mi café rápido porque tengo que empezar a trabajar en 30 minutos. I have to drink my coffee fast because I have to start work in 30 minutes. Right? Yeah. So this is an obligation. Más ejemplos. Aquí, ella tiene que comer más frutas. She has to eat more fruits. Maybe she's not eating right, and the doctor said that she has to eat more fruits. Tú tienes que cocinar la cena. You have to cook dinner. So I won't cook dinner. So if you want to eat, you have to cook it. And it's your turn today because I cooked yesterday. Él tiene que leer. He has to read. So he has to read this book for her class. She's a Spanish class, so tiene que leer. Ustedes tienen que estudiar. You have to study. You all. Ustedes means you all have to study. Yo tengo que correr 10 kilómetros. I have to run 10 kilometers. And we have to sleep. We have to sleep. Yeah. Ok, vamos con más ejemplos. Él tiene que terminar de editar el video hoy, pero está bloqueado. Now here, different when we use I que, like I tell you, it's like a general suggestion. Here, I'm pointing fingers. Here, I'm saying that he has to finish editing the video today, but he's blocked. I'm giving a little bit of context, you know. Now here, ella tiene un resfriado, así que tiene que descansar y tomar mucho té caliente por 3 días. So now, again, being more specific, giving a little more context, she has a cold, so she has to rest and take or drink hot tea, a lot of hot tea for 3 days. And given her specifically this recommendation. Ellos tienen que limpiar las ollas después del almuerzo todos los días. So now, again, these two kids, they have to clean the pans after lunch every day. It's not just in general. They have to. Nosotros no tenemos que trabajar hoy porque es domingo. So now, the lack of an obligation, we don't have to work. So we're not obligated to work today because it's Sunday. Time to pause again. Do the exercises. Like I always say, do the exercises, leave the comments, watch the video, that part of the video again if necessary. Hablando de necessities, we have necesitar, which means to need, right? Yo necesito, tú necesitas, él, ella, usted necesita, nosotros, nosotras necesitamos, ellos, ellas, ustedes necesitan. And necesitar is talk about needs, right? Ejemplo, yo necesito aprender a hacer un cappuccino así porque es mi favorito y es más barato para mí hacerlo que comprarlo. Las personas en la plaza necesitan usar chaquetas porque hay mucho frío. Necesitas comprar la comida de tus gatos hoy porque no tienen suficiente comida para mañana. So again, I need to learn to make a cappuccino like this because it's my favorite and it's cheaper for me to make it than to buy it. People in the plaza need to use jackets because it's very cold. Necesitas, you need to buy the food for your cats today because they don't have enough food for tomorrow. Okay, so necesitas más ejemplos. Ahora, now let's see here the difference between necesitar, tener que o hay que. Okay, so it depends. The difference here is it depends on how mandatory is what you're saying and how direct you want to be when you give a suggestion or an instruction. For example, él necesita estudiar para los exámenes. So we're just saying that he has exams and he needs to study. Very obvious. All right. Hay que estudiar para los exámenes. General suggestion that you can make to any student in the world. Y tiene que estudiar para los exámenes. So this is mandatory, all right? This is more strict, it's more strong suggestion, which is more than a suggestion, is an obligation. So you see the two parents here are very mad because this kid is a teenager and he doesn't want to study. So say, bueno, he's saying to his mom, hey, él tiene que estudiar para los exámenes. He has to study. Or he's saying directly to him, hey, you have to study for the test. Tú tienes que estudiar para los exámenes. Okay? Now, okay, let's talk about another example in a meeting. Tú necesitas llegar a tiempo a la reunión. So this is an informal meeting, all right? It's nice if you get on time so we can start, all together. But if not, not real consequences will happen more than maybe a couple of friends angry, right? So, tú necesitas llegar a tiempo a la reunión. Hay que llegar a tiempo a la reunión. So this is, again, general suggestion for everybody, no pointing fingers. Now, tienes que llegar a tiempo a la reunión. So this is an important meeting and you have to be on time for the meeting. Or this person maybe is now known for their punctuality. So they say that, hey, look, you have to be on time for this meeting. I know you and you're always late, please. You have to be on time. Es muy importante, it's very important. Ustedes necesitan hacer ejercicio regularmente. So you can say that to this group of people. You can see they look very young, very in shape. So if they miss exercises, I don't know, for a week, and say they go on vacation and decide not to go to do exercises, nothing happens. It's okay. Hay que hacer ejercicios regularmente. General idea, general rule for everybody, so that you can see in a gym, maybe, as a poster, there's a recommendation. Y ustedes tienen que hacer ejercicio regularmente. Now, here, they have to, because they are professional athletes, okay? So if they miss not working out for a week, it might be bad for them, especially if they have a very important tournament or competition coming up after that week. So I hope you can see the difference between these two. Pause, do exercises, comment, rewatch the video if necessary. Poder, right? Let's talk about poder. Poder usually means to can and be able to, all right? Yo puedo, tú puedes, él, ella, usted puede, nosotros, nosotras podemos, ellos, ellas, ustedes pueden. And we usually talk about abilities, possibility, and prohibition. Yo puedo hacer un buen café con leche, pero no puedo preparar un cappuccino como el de la foto. No se ve en la foto, pero puede llover más tarde. Hay nubes en el cielo. En esta cafetería no podemos fumar porque está prohibido. Now, let's talk about abilities first. I can make a good coffee with milk, but I can't prepare a cappuccino like the one in the picture. Now, possibility. You cannot see in the picture, but it can rain or it's possible to rain later. There are clouds in the sky. And about prohibition. In this coffee shop, we cannot smoke because it's forbidden. All right? Más ejemplos, more examples. Habilidades. Abilities. Ella puede tejer hermosos suéteres. She can knit beautiful sweaters. Ella no puede cocinar, así que compró una ensalada en el supermercado. She cannot cook, so she bought a salad in the supermarket. Talking about abilities. She's able to knit, she's not able to cook. Possibilities. El bus puede llegar tarde si hay mucho tráfico. The bus can or could or might arrive late if there is a lot of traffic. And puede ser el perro que mi vecina está buscando. It could be, it can be, it's possible. Is the dog that my neighbor is looking for. En prohibitions. Los niños pueden correr fuera de la escuela. The kids can run outside the school. No podemos nadar en esta playa. We cannot or we are not allowed to swim in this beach. All right, it was a short one, so you know the drill. With this one, let's go to the next one. Creer. All right, creer. Yo creo, tú crees, él, ella, usted cree, nosotros, nosotras creemos, ellos, ellas, ustedes creen. And this is talk about beliefs and to give opinions, give your opinions, right? Creer is usually translated as I think or I believe. To think or believe. Creer. Bien. Creer. Yo creo que Roger Federer es el mejor jugador de tenis de todos los tiempos y no creo que solo importe el número de Grand Slams. Las personas creen que la bandera de Cusco es la bandera de la comunidad LGTBIQ+, cuando la ven por primera vez. La mayoría de los cusqueños son católicos, así que creen en Dios y los santos. So, I think that Roger Federer is the best tennis player of all times. And I don't think that it is only important the number of Grand Slams. The people believe that the Cusco flag, is the flag of the LGBTIQ plus community when they see it for the first time. So yeah, you can Google la bandera de Cusco in on the internet. Of course, you can Google it, and you will see why people believe that the first time they see it. En la mayoría de los cusqueños son católicos, así que creen en Dios y los santos. So most Cusqueñans are Catholics, so they believe in God and the saints. Más ejemplos. Mi amiga y yo creemos que nuestras mascotas son como de nuestra familia. My friend and I believe that our pets are like our family. Believe or think. Ella cree que no hay suficiente café y postre para todos. She thinks or she believes that there is not enough coffee and dessert for everybody. Ellos creen en la igualdad de género. They believe in gender equality. ¿Crees en los extraterrestres? Do you believe in aliens? Another short one. You know the drill. Let's move on. Hacer. Okay, hacer is usually translated to do and to make. But as we know, everything depends on the context, and we see why. Yo hago, tú haces, él, ella, usted hace, nosotros, nosotras hacemos, ellos, ellas, ustedes hacen. And the uses to indicate activity or an action, to indicar una actividad o una acción, hablar del clima, talk about the weather, and expresiones idiomáticas. So just expressions, right? Por ejemplo, yo hago la mayoría de mis clases en la mañana porque no me gusta trabajar en la noche. En Cusco hace frío usualmente en las mañanas y en las noches. Durante la tarde no hay frío, pero no hace mucho calor. So, I do most of my classes in the mornings because I don't like to work at nights. In Cusco it's cold. Cusco is cold usually in the mornings and at night. During the afternoon, it's not cold, but it's not too hot either, right? So as you can see, I can say hay frío, like we saw an example of I. We can also say hace frío. Let's see now expressions with hacer. Hacer daño is to hurt someone or something, like an animal. Las personas que hacen daño a los animales no pueden ser buenas personas. So people that hurt animal cannot be good people. Hacer las maletas is to pack. Carlos hace muy mal las maletas. Carlos pack their suitcase, pack in general, very bad. Hacer buen o mal tiempo. Hacer buen tiempo is good weather. Hacer mal tiempo is bad weather. So, hace mal tiempo hoy. The weather is bad today. Hace frío, calor, fresco, viento. So, it's cold, it's hot, it's cool, it's windy. Hace viento en mi ciudad en octubre. So, it's windy in my city in October. Hacer sol also means it's sunny, like hay sol, remember? They both mean the same. Hace sol or hay sol, it's sunny. Hace mucho sol en la playa. It's very sunny in the beach. Hacer trampa is to cheat, but not to cheat someone like in a relationship, like cheat your spouse or your boyfriend, girlfriend, is to cheat in an activity. Like, for example, a game or an exam. So, ellos hacen trampa cuando juegan póker. They cheat when they play poker. Hacer la compra, to go grocery shopping. Hacer la compra means specifically to go grocery shopping. Cuando hago la compra con mis hijos, siempre gasto más de lo normal. When I go grocery shopping with my kids, I spend more than normal. Hacer ejercicio is to do exercise or to exercise. Mi boyfriend, mi novio y yo hacemos ejercicio juntos. My boyfriend and I exercise together. Hacer ruido is to make noise. Esa máquina hace mucho ruido. That machine makes a lot of noise. Hacer reír is to make laugh. Este payaso no me hace reír. This clown doesn't make me laugh. Hacer la cola, to make a line. Estas personas hacen la cola para entrar al cine. These people are making a line to enter the movie theater. Hacer preguntas is to ask questions. Okay? Hacer pregunta, ask questions. Los niños hacen muchas preguntas. The kids the kids ask a lot of questions. La niña hace una pregunta que no puede responder. Que no puedo responder. The girl asks a question that I cannot answer. You know the drill. Again, let's go to the next one right away. Querer. All right. Querer, which is usually translated as to want, also translated as to love. Yo quiero, tú quieres, él, ella, usted quiere, nosotros, nosotras queremos, ellos, ellas, ustedes quieren. Express desire or the willingness to do something, and also expresa amor o afecto, and also express love and affection. You see the difference. Yo quiero un sándwich con jamón y queso para comer con mi café. También quiero ganar la lotería, pero eso es solo un sueño. I want a sandwich with ham and cheese to eat with my coffee. And I also want to win the lottery, but that's just a dream. Más ejemplos. El gato quiere jugar con el pez. The cat wants to play with the fish. Queremos un mundo mejor para todos. We want a better world for everybody. And now when we talk about affection, love and affection. Yo quiero mucho a mis gatos. Los quiero como si fueran mis hijos. So I love my cats very much. I love them as if they were my kids. Okay? So this los substitute the word cats, right? I love, quiero means I love, y los is them. I love them, so I don't have to repeat cats again, very much. This is a little more advanced. You're just giving you a clue on how to identify this and what this los, las, because it looks like a type of los, las that you probably know already. But we're gonna get to that later on. Right now, don't focus so much on how to use them all the time. Focus on understand them when you read them or listen to it and see the context, okay? When we use like this, los quiero, it's because I'm talking about something previously mentioned, all right? I love them as if they were my kids. Now, se quieren, this means each other, all right? Mis hermanos se quieren. My siblings love each other. And we can use, besides se and los, we also have me, te, lo, la, los, las, nos. Okay, I'm gonna see a little bit of the example. But also in our group class, in our one-on-one class, on the comments, you can ask me a little bit more about this. But like I mentioned, we're gonna step by step, right? And we're gonna see how to use them later on. Right now, focus on understand them. Te quiero means I love you, right? Remember, quiero is yo quiero. This te means you in this context, just like goes before, and English goes after. So te quiero means I love you. Yo quiero a mis amigas. Las quiero porque son muy especiales. So I love my friends. I love them because they are very special. Okay, so yo quiero a. Okay, when you say yo quiero a, the next word is either an animal or no. Let's say like this way. When you use yo quiero a, is because you are now using I love and not want. This is the difference here. Queremos un mundo mejor. El gato quiere jugar. Yo quiero un sándwich. Quiero ganar la lotería. We're going to use an A here. Now, when we are talking about love, so we use yo quiero a mis amigos, a mis padres, a mi país, my country. Decimos examples, él quiere mucho a su hijo, lo quiere más que a cualquier otra persona en el mundo. So, he loves his son very much. He loves him. Now that lo is sustituyendo hijo. Okay? Lo quiere mucho, loves him more than any other person in the world. Los novios se quieren mucho. This is each other. The couple, los novios, it would be the couple love each other. Now here we're gonna see actually the different in the same example. María quiere a su caballo. Okay, María has a horse and she loves him. María quiere a su caballo. Ahora, here when you say María quiere un caballo, now this doesn't mean love, it means want, desire for something. María wants a horse, which means that she doesn't have a horse. She wants one. And in the first one again, she loves her horse. Okay, let's say one more. Here, do the exercise. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Gustar. Okay. With gustar is conjugated differently of the verbs that we have seen before. In all the verbs that we will see in this lesson. Here, instead of yo, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, ellos, we use me, te, le, nos, les. Okay? En gusta is conjugated depending if the word is singular or plural, meaning the thing that you like. Because gustar means to like, by the way. Express your likes. So we're gonna see in the examples. But let's read the exercises. And also, something that I almost forgot to mention, this part here that is in gray, and it is in parentheses as on purpose, because this is optional, all right? You will see this happening, but it is optional if you want to emphasize, right? So we will say, me gusta, gustan, or a mí me gusta, gustan, a ti te gusta, gustan. That slash n means that it could be either gusta or gustan. A él, ella, usted, le gusta, gustan. A nosotros, nosotras, nos gusta, gustan. A ellos, ellas, ustedes, les gusta, gustan. Me gusta mucho el café y me gusta más el capuchino que el café negro. También me gustan mucho los gatos. Los domingos a mí me gusta caminar por la plaza con mis amigos y ver el paisaje. So, I like a lot coffee. I like coffee a lot. I like cappuccino more than black coffee. I also like cats a lot. So you can see here, I use gusta because the word coffee, or here, gusta because the word cappuccino is singular. Those words are singular. Gustan here because I'm talking about cats. So the word is singular, so I use gustan. Los domingos, a mí me gusta caminar por la plaza con mis amigos y ver el paisaje. So on Sundays, I like to walk in the plaza with my friends and see the landscape. So here I'm using a mí just to emphasize. I don't really need to use it. I could say los domingos me gusta caminar, and that's it. Más ejemplos. A mis gatos les gustan los juguetes con plumas y las pelotas. A ellos no les gustan los perros. Bien. So, my cats are here. Instead of say a ellos, I'm using a my cats, a mis gatos. Here, you can also say, substitute by names or a name. A mis gatos, a mi mamá, a Carlos y María, a Julia. Okay? Now, it is necessary if you want to mention someone's name or something like mis gatos, mi mamá, mi papá, you need to start with a. Right? You need to start with a mis gatos les gustan. My cats like toys with feathers and balls. They don't like dogs. Okay, let's see here the difference entre gustar y querer. So, you know, querer is to want in this context here, and gustar is to like. So, ella quiere chocolate caliente. She wants hot chocolate. I'm talking about what she wants, maybe in the moment. And a él le gusta el chocolate caliente. He likes, remember this, a él is optional. He likes hot chocolate. Just telling what he likes. Nosotros queremos visitar a nuestros abuelos el fin de semana. So, we want to visit our grandparents this weekend, el fin de semana, right? And here, I'm saying, a nosotros nos gusta visitar a nuestros abuelos los fines de semana. We like visiting our grandparents on weekends. A ella, opcional, it could be a ella, a María, a Julia, a Vanessa, etc. Le gustan los viajes largos en coche. She likes long trips by car. Ella quiere hacer viajes largos en coche. She wants, it's a desire, right? She wants to have, let's say in this context will be to have long trips by car or long road trips. Okay, we finished with hacer. Let's go to the next one. You know what to do here. Ir. Okay. Yo voy, tú vas, él, ella, usted va, nosotros vamos, ellos, ellas, ustedes van. Okay. So in this verb, we can express movement from one place to another, okay, and also express future plans. Ir, as you translate it into English, will be to go. Ejemplo, voy a la plaza todos los fines de semana, voy caminando porque vivo muy cerca, solo a 5 minutos, pero a veces también voy en bicicleta. I go to the plaza all weekends. All weekends, I go walking because I live very close. Just 5 minutes, but sometimes I go by bike, right? Mis gatos van a dormir porque los voy a llevar al veterinario para sus vacunas. Y después de visitar al doctor, siempre están muy cansados. My cats are going to sleep. Now I'm talking about the future. My cats are going to sleep because I'm going to take them to the vet for their vaccines. And after they visit the doctor, they're always very tired. Ellos van caminando mientras yo voy a comprar el vino. This is another way to use ir, all right? Like something is going to be happening while you go do something, okay? Ellos van caminando mientras yo voy a comprar el vino. They are going to be cooking while I'm going to buy the wine. Ellos van en avión hacia Nueva York. So, ellos van en avión. This is mean of transportation. So, van en. They go by plane to New York. So, van en avión, van en carro, van en bicicleta. Por ejemplo, van en bus. So, van en plus mean of transportation. Okay? Or van, I mean. In this case, ellos van, but obviously it could be yo voy en bicicleta, ella va en bus, nosotros vamos en carro, por ejemplo. Y obviously we have expressions with ir. Ir a la moda means to be fashionable. Ella siempre va a la moda. She's always fashionable or with the latest trend. Ir a pie means to go on foot or walking. Ellos van a pie a su casa. They go to their house on foot or they go walking to their house. Ir en contra de es go against something or someone. Sus acciones van en contra de las reglas. His actions go against the rules. Ir de paseo is to go for a walk. To go for a walk or go for a ride. It doesn't have to be walking. It could be go for a ride and a bike and a motorbike and a car. Mis amigos y yo vamos de paseo al parque. My friends and I go for a ride or go for a walk in the park. Ir al grano is to go to the point. Vamos al grano. ¿Cuál es el problema? Let's go to the point. What is the issue? Ir de compras is to go shopping. Ella va de compras todas las semanas. She goes shopping every week. Oh, yeah, every week. Bien. So a variation of ir is irse, which means to live, but this have is similar to go, but it's a kind of different context. Okay. In this is conjugated as yo me voy, tú te vas, él, ella, usted se va, nosotros, nosotras nos vamos, ellos, ellas, ustedes se van. So it's like I said here, es parecido que ir, pero el contexto es usualmente un poco diferente. So it's similar to ir, but the context is usually a little different. Let's see the context. Voy a la casa de mi novio, me voy a la casa de mi novio. So, without much context, when you see voy a la casa de mi novio, it means that you are going to visit him, all right? Just that maybe you're going to stay there for a couple days, a couple weeks, but you're just going to visit. Me voy a la casa de mi novio means that you are moving with him. So you see the difference? You see, it means that you're moving with him for now. Your plan is maybe permanently, but you're taking all your stuff from your house and take it to your boyfriend's house. Voy a la playa con mis amigas el viernes porque tenemos un fin de semana largo. Me voy a la playa con mis amigas cuando quiero desconectarme. So here again, the situations are very similar, but the context is a little different. I'm going to the beach with my friends on Friday because we have a long weekend. So it's just a planned getaway, you know. Me voy a la playa con mis amigas cuando quiero desconectarme. This is more, let's say, a routine that you do every time that you like to disconnect, every time you're trying to relax. You just go to the beach with your friends. All right. And we're about to finish. We just finished ir and irse, complete exercises. And lastly, this is our last verb. Pedir, which means to ask for. Not to ask a question, to ask for. Like it says here, solicitar o requerir algo. To request something de alguien, someone. Request something from someone. Yo pido, tú pides, él, ella, usted pide, nosotros, nosotras pedimos, ellos, ellas, ustedes piden. Pido un cappuccino con chocolate cada vez que vengo a esa cafetería. So I ask for or I order, pedir is also to order, a cappuccino with chocolate every time, cada vez, every time que vengo a esa cafetería, that I come to this coffee shop. Okay. Los niños piden al profesor explicar las reglas del juego otra vez. So the kids ask the teacher to explain the rules of the game again. La mujer pide ayuda a la policía. The woman asks for help to the police. Pedir información. Some expressions. Si necesitamos algo, pedimos información a la recepcionista. If we need something, we ask for information to the receptionist. Pedir disculpa is to apologize. I apologize o pido disculpas por lo que dije antes de tomar mi café. I apologize for what I said before I had my cup. Pedir permiso is to ask for permission. Tienes que pedir permiso por escrito para faltar tantos días. You have to ask for permission by writing or in a document to miss so many days. Pedir una cita, to ask for an appointment. El jefe pide una cita médica para su secretaria. The boss asks for an appointment, a medical appointment for his secretary. Pedir favores is to ask for a favor. No me gusta pedir favores, pero a veces es necesario. I don't like to ask for favors, but sometimes it's necessary. That's it. We have finished with this video lesson. Remember, as I always said, to go little by little, verb by verb. Repeat the explanation of each verb if necessary. Do the exercises. Leave me comments in the platform, and I will be checking those comments every day. Okay, at least one, maybe not this, few minutes before, after you have written your comment or your question or your doubt. But every day I will be checking them and I will be replying to all of you. Do the exercises, and well, we will see again in another video lesson, in our group class, and in our one-on-one session. Adiós. Gracias.